What's up and welcome to My Point of View. I am your fat and opinionated host, and I see that some people still haven't really quite wrapped their heads around this Bud Light controversy. They don't understand why it's such a big deal. And the powers that be, the other side, they're working overtime, pulling their usual nonsense, using the LGBT community as a shield. That's what they always do. They use this community as a shield to shield themselves from criticism. I see it time and time again. So they want you to think that the uproar is about people not liking gay people. Oh, it's anti-gay and all of this madness that, people just have a problem with a gay person being on a beer can. When that's not the reality at all. These beer companies have been doing Pride Month beer cans and stuff like that for years. They've been running the gay campaigns and stuff for years. And for the most part, there was not pushback. Definitely not pushback like what we're seeing right now. Now, I can't speak for everyone, but I can speak for myself. And I can speak for people like me. We don't have an issue with the fact that Dylan Mulvaney is gay. Most of us don't even have an issue with the fact that Dylan Mulvaney is trans. We have an issue with who his audience is, who he tries to appeal to, and the way he mocks women, gay men, and trans people, honestly. That's the issue here. I want you all to understand that Dylan Mulvaney's fan base is kids. So when you look at a Dylan Mulvaney video and you wonder, who watches this? Your kids watch it. Yes, you watching this video right now. If your kids are on TikTok or they have a little smartphone and they're on the internet, they're watching stuff like Dylan Mulvaney. Think of Dylan Mulvaney like the modern day Barney or Sesame Street Elmo. Yeah, I know, it's really weird. And looking at it like that, it shows you how sick and twisted our society has become. But make no mistake about it, Dylan Mulvaney is the current day kids icon, if you will. So would you have a problem with Bud Light sponsoring Elmo and Sesame Street? Would you have a problem with Bud Light sponsoring Barney if Barney was still around? Would you have a problem with Blue's Clues or what are people like Bluey? There's so many random things that kids watch these days. I can't keep up with it. Coco Melon. Would you have a problem if these people were promoting Bud Light? I would like to think that most of you all were. You would, right? You would have a problem with a kids television show host promoting beer. But that's what Dylan is. Dylan is the modern day Steve from Blue's Clues. Dylan is the modern day Pee Wee Herman, only more perverted. So sponsoring Dylan Mulvaney and wanting Dylan Mulvaney to crack open beers on TikTok in front of his followers, you're doing that to promote your beer to kids. They even acknowledge that, hey, we partnered up with Dylan Mulvaney because we wanted to reach a new audience. Who do you think his audience is? It's not grown adults. It's not me. It's not you. It's your kids. It's always been your kids. You could watch his videos and you could see that it appeals to kids. But not just that. Dylan Mulvaney tries to indoctrinate kids with this new age agenda that's going on. He teaches them about sex change operations, about hormone therapy, puberty blockers, you name it. They're trying to normalize this stuff for your kids, and that's why people have an issue. And some of you all will say, oh, my kid isn't watching Dylan Mulvaney. My kid watches Mr. Beast. I got news for you. Mr. Beast's best friend, who was just a married man with a kid, last time I checked, now he's trans as well. So they're going to try to reach your kids from every angle. Do you think that what's going on with Mr. Beast's best friend turning trans out of nowhere, do you think that's natural or do you think it's part of the plan? I think it's part of the plan. They're going to try to reach your kids in any way, shape, or form. So when you see people outraged at Bud Light, understand that it's not because Dylan Mulvaney is gay. In fact, I think Dylan Mulvaney rejected being a gay man in order to pretend to be a woman, right? And the sooner people realize that this movement, this trans ideology, it's anti-gay. Who do you think the main targets are? They're targeting gay kids. Telling little gay boys, hey, no, you're a woman. You can be a woman. Don't feel comfortable in your own skin. Don't feel comfortable with your sexuality or being yourself. No, you're a different gender now. Then they go to the little girls. Hey, you know, you're a little rougher than the average girls. You're a tomboy. You're into sports. You're into these things. You don't care about pretty colors and dresses. You're a dude now. As soon as people wake up and realize, and I'm talking specifically right now to gay people, I have plenty of gay viewers. The sooner that the gay community starts realizing that this stuff is a direct attack on y'all. They're mutilating y'all. They're sterilizing y'all. Making sure that you can't reproduce. You can't achieve a normal orgasm. Yes, once you get one of these changes, you're not going to get off the same way. You will never feel sexual pleasure ever again. Or at least not to the extent that you could have or should have. They're mutilating young gay kids, chopping off their body parts, putting them onto all types of hormones and stuff that's bad for their mental health. And then you wonder why, hey, maybe we have a problem with you promoting someone that promotes this stuff on your beer cans. It's like back in the day, you used to have achievements to reach this point. Like, oh, maybe you won the Super Bowl, maybe the NBA championship, maybe you won a big NASCAR race or something, and you get sponsored by Bud Light. Or maybe you win a gold medal in the Olympics and you get a sponsorship. No, now we're like, hey, you're a dude that puts on a dress and makes videos for kids pretending to be a little girl while telling them to take pharmaceuticals? Sure, you could get a sponsorship. Dylan Mulvaney has made millions in the past couple of months pretending to be a woman. And not in an entertaining way. No, pretending to be a woman on TikTok for 13-year-olds. So I want people to start wrapping their mind around that this isn't anti-gay, it's none of that. It's anti-allowing these people to groom your kids, and to not only groom your kids, but to be awarded for it. We now live in a day and age where a grown man can throw on a dress and put on little kids' makeup, prance around like a little girl, pretend to be a little girl, tell your kids they should chop their balls off, and then make millions of dollars from doing it. And Nike and Bud Light and all of these companies are sponsoring them out the wazoo. So that's the issue. It's not about anti-gay. It's not about anti-any of that. It's about anti-indoctrination, anti-rewarding someone that does heinous things. A few years ago, someone like Dylan Mulvaney would be thrown in jail. None of us would be okay with this, but now our world has gone so crazy and people have allowed politics to radicalize them to the point that they will accept grown men preying on kids, and they will accept big corporations rewarding it right in front of our faces. Hey, Dylan, you're doing a great job grooming kids on TikTok. You're doing a great job dressing up as a little girl and pretending to be a little girl while confusing kids. Here's millions of dollars. So the Bud Light drama and people standing up against it, the boycott of Bud Light, it's not really a boycott of the brand. It's a boycott of this way of thinking and rewarding this way of life. Rewarding people who do horrible things to kids. Dylan Mulvaney didn't get famous from being a good person or doing wonderful things. He literally got famous from pretending to be a little kid on TikTok. So hopefully that clears things up a little bit. Sorry for the rant. Maybe you understand a little bit better now. You know, and like I said at the beginning of this video, it's going to be hard for people to really grasp the fact that Dylan Mulvaney is the new Teletubbies, the new SpongeBob. It's Dylan Mulvaney. That's who's talking to your kids. That's who your kids are watching. And that is already bad enough. That shouldn't be happening in the first place. But to make matters even worse, it's encouraged by corporations, and they go, okay, we know who your audience is. It's definitely an untapped audience of fucking 12-year-olds. Let's send you some free beer and millions of dollars to promote our brand. But anyways, let me know your thoughts about this down in the comments below. While you're down there, hit the thumbs up, hit the subscribe, ring that notification bell, and remember to always remain opinionated.